Hi, guys. Welcome back to the She Who Leads podcast. I'm Daniela Varga, your host, and my goal is to help you build a business from your soul pool, your purpose, and with that, you'll be able to enable you, empower you. I don't like the word empower, but like enable you to build to get your message out to the people who really, really, really need it, to bring in about the change that I know that you know in your heart you are meant to do and that you are capable to do. And or maybe you don't believe that you're capable to do it right now, but I am meant to help with you with that, to feel that you are capable to do that, and also have all the knowledge, technical, practical, and also spiritual and energetic, to build that business, around your pool. So that's what we're here for. And to help you with that, today I am bringing you a topic that I had on my mind for the past week, and that came from a conversation with a friend who I love so much. I love you, Sabrina, if you're listening. I love their conversation. And she was talking to me about the labels and the identities that she took on, and that she was basically torn between being a scientist and a spiritual leader, and not being able to see like where she is in that, or which one she should be, or how she should proceed with her business this way. Because she has a background in academia, so she's a scientist. She has a very scientific mind, but also she's very spiritual. She's very present. She has been called a female Eckhart Tolle so much, which actually was also a label she took on. And she's amazing. She got to a realization which hit me very hard, which was basically that she was using these identities to first of all to keep safe, to not show herself, and also she realized that she doesn't need to be anyone else. She just needs to be herself. She just needs to be Sabrina. And I think that's something that a lot of us, especially very, very highly spiritual people, deal with. And basically anyone who wants to build a business deals with this. You know what? I will refrain. I think everyone in this world who is in a human form deals with this type of identity work, or I don't want to call it an identity crisis, but in some way it is, because what we basically do is we grab these identities of being an entrepreneur, or being a teacher, or being a coach, or being a healer, or being a scientist, or an artist, or whatever we want to call it, or just being a mom, or a sibling, or a savior, or an entertainer, or again anything else. And then from then on, everything that we do, we try to fit into those labels, we try to fit into those identities. And when it comes to business, and especially when it comes to the soul pool business, that can give us a lot of limitations, because the soul pool business is very much designed to be unique, and is designed to be feeding off of your uniqueness. So basically your soul pool will be very much based on who you are at your core. And that is a lot of the times different from who we believe ourselves to be, because of the conditioning that we had since we were kids, basically, in our family, in society, in school, in the job market. we took on a lot of identities, we took on a lot of labels, and we take on a lot of labels all the time. And we believe that we are those labels, but if we would strip those down, if there would be like a magic solution to be able to strip down everything that is not in your core, like not the version your soul chose to be in this lifetime, basically, those two are usually very different from the ones who we believe ourselves to be right now, and the ones who we are actually, again, like our core selves. And our core selves are the perfect concoction of the person and the capabilities and the qualities and everything for being able to build that soul pool business, right? I've been talking about this before. And the more we are distancing ourselves from this core selves, actually the higher it becomes to build business around our soul pool. Because again, we are trying to use capabilities, maybe, or trying to think in ways that is not aligned with how our soul would think, right? And I get that. Like, I even, like, when I had this conversation with my friend and I was listening to her, I was actually getting images and memories of the moments where I am actually still doing this to myself. Like, I remembered, oh, I was actually trying to sound like this person. I was trying to use my intuition like my mentor, or I was trying to change how I do coaching because I believe that I should be more like my mentor. I should be more like someone else that I really believe has very, very good intuition, and I need to be that. And there are just so many little ways where we try to force ourselves, not force, but like maybe make ourselves to be someone else. And I get that. Like, that's a lot of the ways seems so much more safer than being ourselves. Because if I am someone else, if I am trying things as someone else would do, at the end, if that doesn't work, that would mean that, oh, so actually what that person does doesn't work. It wouldn't mean that what I do doesn't work. That can be in the mix because we are very good at beating ourselves up. Or I don't know, I was very good. I'm much, much better now, but I was very, very good at beating myself up. So whenever I tried a strategy or something else that I saw someone else do or teach and it didn't work, obviously my first choice was to go to myself and say how useless I was and how nothing I did actually worked. But on the subconscious level, when we do this, when we take on someone else's style or personality or way of doing things or way of speaking or explaining or the structure that they are using, subconsciously we are actually relieved when we quote unquote fail. And I'm saying it quote unquote because we never fail. Topic for another podcast. But it's easier for the subconscious mind, for the ego to go with that, because that would mean that, oh, actually, this person's way of doing things is not working. It doesn't mean that I am rejected. Yes, how I am doing things right now is rejected. But again, to be honest, I know deep down I wouldn't do things like this. So on a subconscious level and even on a soul level, it wouldn't feel as rejection. Now, the soul still doesn't really enjoy being someone else, but also the soul is also an entity, and the soul has lessons to learn. And the soul doesn't like to be rejected. Like, no one likes to be rejected, not every part of us, or like being perceived as rejected. Again, everything is perception. So it feels safer Because when we really truly do things our way, when we really truly try something new, try something that we never done before, try something that we don't think anyone ever done before or we didn't see in anywhere else, and that doesn't work, now that is pain. That is very, very, very deep pain. That can be a very, very deep pain, because basically you're rejected. It's almost like experiencing, like being naked and someone rejects you, like someone rejects your body. um, it's kind of the same experience of, oh, okay, so that really, I cannot sugarcoat it any other way. I'm not good. I'm not. People don't want me. People really, really don't want me, and that's a very, very tough feeling to feel, a very tough experience to have, and obviously the ego doesn't want that. So it will try to avoid it as much as it can, and that is leading to a, a lot of the people, and again, I'm no exception from this, still in a lot of the ways of trying to be someone else, trying to do things in a way that is not really, I don't like the word authentic here, but I will use it because I don't have a better for it yet. But it's easier to be someone else in a lot of ways, because it feels like it won't be as painful if things don't work out, or we believe that things don't work out. So I get it. I really, really get it. But with this, again, with the soul pool business specifically, because it is like, you are meant to help people. Like, that's the first thing. You are meant to help people. I want that to really sink in. You are meant to add to this world. Just your mere existence is proof that you are meant to add to this world, because source created you. You are here, and source doesn't make mistakes, not really, like. And just the fact that source believe that your existence is required is a proof that you add to this world. You have a very big, big, big potential to have a very, very big potential. Big addition. Yes, that's a big addition to this world. And again, that's something that needs time to sink in, and something that your subconscious needs to really absorb. But just like really listening to this, maybe going back and listening to this part like a bunch of times, because sometimes hearing this from someone else helps you embody it much more, because again, it's coming from an outside source, and the ego has a harder time of contradicting it compared to when we are saying it to ourselves. So just like maybe go back a bunch of times and listen to this. But again, like that is the baseline, that is the truth. So you are an addition to the world, and you have the ability to bring about a big, big, big change into this world with the business that you are creating, or the business that you are having. But, and and here's, I think, the most important thing, that change, that addition, that potential big, big, big shift that you can create is coming from being yourself, being your true self, your core self, as much as you can be, possibly a bit more every single day. Because but the source, again, created everyone very uniquely, because everyone has a unique way of adding to this world. But if you are afraid to be yourself and trying to be other people, and trying to, again, for lack of the better word, hide behind the different labels and identities that you put on, that is actually limiting your potential of the change that you are able to create. because you're basically are trying to do the same thing, or almost the same thing as someone else does. Whenever we are trying to be someone else, we are actually trying to create the same thing as someone else did, which doesn't really make sense, because we're just creating a lot more work for ourselves. We're creating actually competition this way. We are creating a lot of doubt in ourselves, a lot of what's the word for it? We're just really making our lives so much harder with this. And that's also true when we are trying to build offers and trying to see like, okay, how can I actually help with this business that I am creating? Because, and again, guilty as charged, I really was here with my business, and again, I will explain as I get there. But like, what we again do is we're trying to get tools and learning so many tools, which is great. Like, we should be learning tools, we should be learning processes, we should be learning methods to help people. But how we get stuck with this, and how a lot of people get stuck in this, is we see these tools, we see these methods that we are learning that can help people. Like, I don't know, for example, I learned the Dharma coaching method, and it is an amazing method. I love it to this day. I think it's an amazing tool to get closer to what you are here to do. But how I used it is as a safety net. I used it as something that gave me value. And that's flawed in itself. If you just like really look into this, you can like see or feel into this, like, I was using something outside of me to give value to myself that doesn't really feel right. Like, that doesn't sit at all right. And we do this. We believe if we know this, we believe if we learn this, we believe if we have this tool, if we do this certification, if we, I don't know, learn something we don't know yet, we finally will be worthy. We finally will be able to help people, and finally will be valuable enough so other people will see our value. But that is not how things work, because until you see your own value, like, your value has to come from within you as a person, you as someone who just exists. You need to see the value in that to be able to bring about the change that you are meant to have. And again, these tools are amazing. The Dharma method gave me a lot of beautiful things. I got to work with clients. I got to test this. I got to see what worked from this. I got to see what I resonated with this from this tool. But now I am using it less and less in my coaching, and only using bits and pieces of it, because I know what works. and I know how I am actually shifting and fine-tuning this, or parts of this, that actually have a much better impact and a much bigger impact on my clients than what I was able to have with that method. And my friend told something that I really, really, really stuck with me, and I also really needed to hear. It's a very funny thing which lately is happening to me, is that no matter who I have a conversation with, I always get exactly the mindset shift, the tools, the realizations that I need to get something in my life to the next level. It's so fun. I think that happened all the time, actually. And that's kind of a thing that when you start to finally see it, you cannot see it anymore, or cannot unsee it. And this is kind of what happened to me. So maybe just like take a different look on your conversations, and see like, oh, okay, so I'm actually looking for an answer for, I don't know, my money blocks, or my, I don't know what else, like my health issues or whatever, and just like be present in a conversation and see like the snippets and the pieces that come together. It's super, super, super cool. Anyhow, what I wanted to get into is what my friend was telling me, that she actually had the same experience of, oh, so she always thought that the latest tool that she learned was the best tool, and this is what she needs to teach, and this is what she needs to go with, and this is what she needs to help people with, like using this tool. Yes, this will be the solution. No, then this will be the solution. And first of all, this is very tiring because we are suddenly jumping from tool to tool, and actually we're never really implementing anything that we get. And the other thing is that it really, really takes a toll on our self-image, because again, we believe that, oh, okay, so it's not me who I am valuable, but actually the tool that I use. And if anyone else uses this tool, then we get like uncertain, like, oh, so then now someone else is using this tool, so maybe what if they are better and that, and they also know this and this and that. So I suddenly don't feel as special, and suddenly don't feel as unique and valuable as I could have felt, right? Or I felt before with this tool. So anyhow, what she said really stuck with me, which was basically that she realized, and actually her partner, business partner, told her this, that she is the product. Like in her business, she is the product. And that really, really stuck with me, because I realized how true is that. And not in a weird salesy way of like, oh yeah, you are the product and you have to sell yourself and have to sell yourself out. Not in this way. But in the soul pool specifically, you are the product. Like your soul pool is you. How you can help people is coded in you. So the product that you're selling, let it be a literal product, let it be a service, but specifically with services, if you are feeling the pull to heal people, to help people, you are the product, not the tools that you learned, not the methods that you learn from someone else, but you yourself. And I will actually go out on a limb and even say that not even the tools that you come up with is the product, but you. How you explain those tools, how you are present with people, how you are sharing your own story, that is the product. That is your whole business. Your whole business is you. You, again, your experiences, your stories, your explanations, your visuals, your whatever, like you. And you don't really need anyone else to be able to help people, to be able to bring change. Again, we can always learn, and actually the soul really, really, really wants to learn and wants to master things. But again, your worthiness of being able to help people is already there. You are already valuable enough to be able to help people with the stories that you have, with sharing your message, with sharing your experiences. We make ourselves believe that to be of help, to be of service, we need to have this elaborate tool set to be able to heal people. And a lot of the times they don't need anything else but our presence. I cannot tell you how many times it happened in my coaching that I was like, I believe that, oh my God, I have to come up with a super good tool and like have to help this person like with a step-by-step process to get her from A to B, which again, a lot of the times I do, because actually that's part of me. Like that's how my brain works. Like I am very, very, for me, it's very easy to come up with processes and tools, because I don't know, I just like see the steps that needs to be taken. But a lot of the times the biggest impact, the biggest shift that I was able to create within people were only because of one single sentence I said, or one word. I changed one word to another. This just happened yesterday. I changed one word for my client. I actually advised her to change just one word in how she talks about herself. And she was like, oh my God, I'm changed forever. Like she really couldn't believe it, that this is all it took. And she really, really resonated with it. Like, oh, so actually, like, yeah, like I really see it. And she, like, and that's not the first time that happened, specifically with her. So we really expect ourselves to be, we set very, very high expectations for ourselves. And I really believe that, specifically if you're an older soul, if your soul came here to help a lot of people, to have a big impact, you will be especially hard on yourself. You will expect especially big things for yourself. I know I do. Like, I have expectations from myself that are borderline insane, I will believe. and and yes, that has a lot of positives in it, because again, like, I am always striving for beyond what I believe is imaginable, which is great. But again, we need to be aware of the fact that we don't need to reach those expectations to be able to feel worthy and to be able to build a business that is successful and that is helping people. And again, when you are able to help people, when you are able to just help a few people, the success will start to come in, because that's how it works. When you when you feel valuable, you will create value. And when you create value, the money comes in, because money is also value. It's just a very simple equation. And yes, it has other ingredients, but that is a very foundational ingredient to building a successful business, to be rooted into your value. And again, your value is you, who you are, not the outside external things that you acquired. Yes. So let this be, I feel like this is a short episode. I don't want to over talk this. I think the main message from this whole episode is to give yourself the permission to be yourself. Give yourself the permission to be yourself in your business, and see that actually you yourself, you are the product, and that is enough. That is more than enough. Your presence, your attention, your love, your care, that is all enough to be able to help people, to be able to start change, to be able to add to this world. Like, you already have that ability, because you are you. You always have you. No one can take away who you are. And start using that. Start using that in your business. Because when you really start to do that, like, I promise you that, first of all, you will enjoy your business so much more. And second of all, people will start to notice you. The right people will start to notice you, and the people who you are meant to help will actually finally recognize you, because you are not trying to be someone else. You're not trying to hide behind labels and identities that are not actually a good fit for you, but you are showing yourself, and people will recognize you. Their soul will recognize your soul, how it is meant to be. And they will start to come when you show yourself, when you show the real you, as much as you can. Again, you don't have to know who you are at your core 100% right now. The only thing that you need to embody is who you kind of feel that you really are, but you're afraid to be that person. That's the only thing that you need to be. How you can be that person you are afraid to be in your business? How can you show that version of yourself in your business that you are maybe afraid to show right now? when you start to work on that and incorporate that and implement that, that will be a beautiful, beautiful transformation for yourself and for your business too, and also for your clients. It just has so many beautiful applications, just this one single act that you can do within your business. And if you need help with that, you can also get that. Like, I'm here to help. I'm happy to help to figure out who you are at your core, who you truly are, how you can use your strengths, your gifts in your business, how you can actually form your business around your soul pool. If you don't know yet your soul pool, I'm also happy to help with that. How figure out like what is that unique value that you bring to this world, because I promise you, you have that. A very, very beautiful one. So you can get help with that. I'm happy to help with that. There are a lot of other amazing solutions. If you are pulled towards me, I'm here. You can book a free coaching call in with me. There's a link in the description below. So feel free to use that to your advantage. But anyhow, like any way that you can be a bit closer to who you are and show that to the world, again, in your business, find any way that you can show yourself in your business a bit more that you did yesterday. Maybe if you have a podcast you used script or outlines so far, just ditch the outline for one podcast episode. Just ditch it. Or there's a topic that you were afraid to talk about, or you were not sure that if it's you, if it fits your image, talk about that topic. See how that feels. Try it, test it. Just like be daring to show different sides of yourself, and again, try on maybe new identities, because the old ones could get you to this point and you will need new ones and release older ones to get to the next level. So it can be anything small. Maybe, I don't know, creating a short form video which you did not do before, or if you hate Instagram, then trying long form and doing something that really truly makes you joy in the business. Again, there's so many different ways to incorporating ourselves into the business. It's amazing and magical. I am doing it so many ways in my business. Actually, this podcast episode is one of the new ways I am trying. We'll see how that lands. I am scared, to be honest, to my core, how this will land. But we'll see. I'm choosing to be brave, and I'm choosing to show myself a bit more and a bit differently than I did before. So do this to a favor to yourself and to the world, and trust who you are. Trust that beautiful, beautiful, magical version, your core self, who your soul chose to be in this lifetime. Because I really, really promise you that that person, that version of you is so magnetic that you won't be able to like get off new clients of yourself with time. I really, really do promise you that. Okay, this was this episode. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment. If you like this episode, it would help me a lot if you give it a like. And also, if it would help me a lot with supporting this podcast, to have, if you subscribe, if you obviously like the podcast, and if you have a friend who you believe would benefit from listening to this episode, sharing with her will help her or him. It will also count as your spiritual charity. Let's just call it that. And again, it helps with me to bring my message, my soul pool a bit further. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Anyhow, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And I see you in the next episode. Bye.